right, Scott, first time back on this venue in 34 days to return the way you did, mate. Must be really proud of this group.
Yeah, I mean, we have a long 8-day trip there and to get back here. I'd like to start with just a few things real quick. The first one would be a big shout out to Jack McVay scoring his first NBA points and going in the history books. What an accomplishment that kid has been on, and so excited for him. Clint's 100th game as a jack jumper, another remarkable thing for us. This last 24 hours has been quite emotional for our group. Very emotional, and we have a lot of distraught players and family members and wives and spouses and children. And we have been attacked brutally through social media to the point where it's ugly. The threats. We have a player that's wife is pregnant and they wish for a miscarriage. And these attacks have been going on for weeks, and it came to a head yesterday. We deserve better. We've worked very hard here for 3 years, and it's not just gamblers. Our guys show up every single day to do their work. You don't need to attack them. You're going to attack me. If you don't like the way we play, I get it. But to go after people's mothers, fathers, kids, and do that in the brutal way that has transpired, it's beyond crossing the line. And when you have now family members scared to go outside their house, kids reading what they're reading, and the NBL must do something. It's been very emotional for our group. The fact that we even came to play the way we did today is really a testament to this group. I told them before they ran on the floor, go play for your family. And I don't know, other than the league needs to protect us, and I'm probably not the only coach that would sit here and say this. We've had 3 remarkable years, and I'm not going to let this place get burnt down by people attacking us in that fashion. Criticize our play, don't like the way I coach, don't like the roster, send it to me. But keep these guys and their families out of it. And again, it's been an emotional day for me because I got attacked like that 4, 5, 6 years ago in another country. And they went after my wife and my daughter. And the NBL must do something.
Clearly no place for anything like that, Scott.
Pardon?
Clearly no place for anything like that, so very well said. So given that you must be what you've had to deal with, the last 4 or 5 games and the past 24 hours, I guess just how proud are you of this group to come out the way they did like that and perform backs against the wall, top of the table team in New Zealand, to play the way you did. You must be incredibly stoked.
Yeah, again, internally this group is as close as any group we've ever had here. The wins and losses will transpire how they do, but the love they have interiorly for what we're doing and the work effort they show up, the way they travel, the way they celebrate our values internally and with this community is second to none. And if we didn't win another game out and we were able to do all those things and continue to grow basketball in Tasmania, that'd be enough for me. But resilient, just a really nice effort across the board from a lot of guys that chipped in. And Chicken had a wonderful game, and Gak in his short minutes, and Fab, he can't make a basket in two games, but man, the workhorse nature of what he does. So there's a lot of really good moments in there. And then this kid just responding in a really high-level way today. I'm extremely proud of our group. But I'm quite shaken by what has transpired with these guys and their families and their spouses and their kids and what's going on.
You mentioned his name there, Scott, the guy that's probably copped a lot of unfair criticism is Chicken. For him to come out the way he did tonight, 18 points and was plus 24 when he was on the court. You must be just, I guess, proud of him, but also for him to come out and do that, as you said, as you've had to fight through all this other stuff off court, just for him to show his resilience too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, the guys are just in there, and we're not trying to lose. We're not trying to play poorly. They're 28-year-old guys with families trying to do their jobs for 40 minutes on the floor. And, he's been showing up and doing the work. And, again, I've said it before, the roster was not built constructed the way I thought it would end up being with him in the role he was, and now it's morphed into something else. But he just keeps coming, and he's like many of these guys. You know, Gak didn't play early on, and he's now getting his rhythm and starting to play some more minutes, which has been good. And they just have a lot of character and a lot of love interiorly with our group, and I'm extremely proud of what they've done.
He showed tonight clearly that he knows how to shoot the ball and get it in the basket. Do you expect that's the game he kind of needed to get a bit of confidence under his belt and continue on the way he did tonight?
Well, hopefully it gives him some confidence. I've said before, you know, he's a slasher. He's a disruptive defender. That's why we brought him in initially to play 15 minutes and get after bigger guards, not knowing that Shawnee Mack would be hurt, not knowing that Jack McVay would be here. And he's been always a very good historical three-point shooter from corners. And we thought if he get 8-9 points and disrupt for 15 minutes, that'd be a wonderful role for him. And you know, he showed up obviously big tonight and made some really good plays and was really sound defensively.
Third quarters have been somewhat of an issue over the last couple of months, but tonight to come out, I think you held the breakers for 3 points and scored 19 of your own. You must have been really impressed with the way that the group didn't let their momentum in that second quarter drop off in the third.
Yeah, you know, for about 3 or 4 weeks there, we've had these lulls of 6, 7, 8 minutes, which really has destroyed a lot of momentum we've had and had to fight again to try to get back to where we were. And I told the coaches coming out of halftime, I'm going to change the lineup coming out of here in the third quarter and put Majuk out there with potential of more scoring early on and space the floor again and Tarangi. And I think that leveled things off and got us in a good mode until our guys started getting subbed through there. So it was finally a good quarter in general. And when you hold someone to 3 points in the quarter, I don't care where you are in the world, that's a great credit to the group.
JC, how good did it feel to be back out on home court tonight?
First, to God be the glory, but yeah, it felt good just to get back home, sleep in your own bed, and you know, do your own routine that you do every game. So the fans were electric. It's always good being back in my state.
I think that's what you needed, a little bit of, I guess, return to familiar surroundings, get the fans behind you again to really get some momentum behind the group heading into, you know, next week and then post the FIFA break.
Yeah, it's always been good home. I mean, still though on the road, you got to win games as well. But yeah, it feels good coming home and just being where we feel comfortable. Being with the fans, they were great tonight, like they always are. So.
You're a guy that came into this league last year and probably didn't know what to expect, similar to what Craig's come in this year. How impressed with him tonight were you, given what he's had to go with through the last, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, every game is just a building block, coming in every day, just putting the work in. We see it every day in practice, and, he's learning as he goes, as all of us are. And, he was great today, and, yeah, I'm proud of him.
What was the most pleasing thing, I guess, from a player's perspective, on the court tonight? What impressed you the most?
Just our resilience. It's been a rough couple weeks, and, we just sticking at it, still grinding away, being disruptive, confrontational, and just playing the Jackie's way.
And for you to see the ball hit the net a lot tonight, it must have been pleasing to get back to some nice ball.
Yeah, I think it all fell back to just, me personally just being up the floor and let my defense set the tone of the game and letting everything else take care of itself.
Hey, Heike, if you've got some questions, I'll throw to you.
Okay, just a couple. Jordon, can you sum up what you saw in the third quarter? I mean, it was an incredible performance. It was almost like, the Jack Jumpers of old. Hold them to 3 points. I think they went 1 of 15. You forced them into 8 turnovers. It was an incredible 10 minutes of basketball from your team.
Yeah, I didn't realize until we came out of the third quarter at the end, and I hear Fab on the bench saying, "Great job, a hell of a quarter for holding them to 3 points." And I kind of looked around like, they only scored 3 points, so it's just credit to us just doing the right thing and just trying to continue to build off each quarter. And third quarter is where we kind of struggled at, and just to bounce back from that and have a great quarter was great.
Some of the stuff that Scott mentioned earlier, have you seen some of that on social media? And from a player's perspective, how do you deal with it, and does it bring you guys closer together?
I'd rather not speak on that.
Okay. Scott, to be honest, I'm glad you brought it up because, people seem to think that they can say whatever they want on social media and act in ways that they would never would in real life, so I'm glad you brought attention to it. But I haven't seen it, so maybe my head's in the sand a little bit. Can you give any sort of insight on where it's coming from or what's been happening?
Well, it's been going on for a while, and it came to a head this last 24 hours, and it's coming from, gamblers and people around the world that are betting on games and doing whatever, and then it's coming from general fans that feel like they can just spew whatever they want out of their mouths. And again, I don't mind criticism. You're a horrible coach, whatever, all those things. Jordon, you didn't play well, whatever. But when you start using vulgarity and you start attacking family members and you start attacking kids and you start attacking photos on Facebook and all these things that they're doing, and then you cross the line about saying, I wish this lady would have a miscarriage, what do you expect? But not be rattled from a family member or your mom or your dad that's actually getting abused also. And yeah, it's just too much. And you know what? It's just a basketball game. It's just entertainment. Who cares at the end of the day? Truly, who cares? We're just here to entertain, play as hard as we can. 28-year-old kids with families. Who cares? This is not life or death. And it's disgusting. And the NBL must act.
Like I said, I'm glad you brought attention to it. A lot of positives tonight. Even in the last minute, you were able to give an NBL debut to Brody Nunn and get him out there for his first NBL minutes too, which I'm sure you were delighted about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get those kids in there. They've been working hard. We've been gone for 8 or 9 days here, and these guys are back here practicing with Jared Weeks and going through all their stuff. And, somehow you try to kind of reward them for, all the work, because then practice starts and they're the ones that actually can set the tone for us and get after our guys if they're a little complacent. And so it's only a short stint, but to reward them and get out there, always really, really good. And that's how Shawnee Mack started. It was just 30 seconds here or a minute there, and someone gets hurt and something happens, and all of a sudden, boom. So I'm really happy that, we got everyone on the floor.
Just lastly, speaking of Sean, you mentioned on Thursday that he's probably 7 to 10 days away. Does that mean he's a chance to play Friday night?
Yeah, I think on Tuesday, he's only played 5-on-5 once for just a short stint. We have 3 practices this week. We're going to have 2 days off. Magna will get reevaluated on Tuesday. He seems to be in good spirits. We'll see how he comes up here this week. And then Shawnee Mack's more about just getting some reps. And the best case scenario would be potentially he would be ready. And if not, we are kind of always hoping that he'd be ready after FIBA break. So we're kind of in the middle of that, and he needs some more reps to be playing 5-on-5. But he's pretty close.
Thanks very much, guys.
Just one lastly as well, so if that's right. Just in relation to the comments online and everything, you mentioned you'd like to see the NBL act. What would you like to see them do?
Well, we have, we go to the Blitz and we talk about integrity and we talk about all these things, and at some point or another, do them. Why are we going to have meetings about this, that, and whatever? I get it. You report it, and then they go to try to find it out. But why would they not be just being proactive across the board and looking at what's going on and touching base with teams and seeing what's going through? It's not just us. AFL, whatever, fans are fans, gamblers are gamblers, but be proactive. You don't wait for someone to be knocked out or something happen bad to them and then say, okay, now we'll start to look into it. When I have family members this morning from the team saying, I'm scared to go outside today because I've been threatened. What is that? And so do something. Protect your product.
And just lastly as well, how do you handle that with the players and their families as coach? Like, what's been your message to them?
Well, the great thing about the Jack Jumpers are we are a family, and we just hold on to each other. We just hold on. I don't know what else I can tell you. There was a lot of emotion in that locker room, and we're just going to hold on to each other.
Sure. Thanks for your comments and for shedding some light on it as well.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, appreciate it.